Listen to that. That's not the cop, that's the bloody phone at the racecourse ground ringing off the hook. Every vulture in the country is circling because they want a piece of our future. We're in the championship pressure cooker now. Millions spent and zero room for error. Success is a double-edged sword. It kills opportunity for the kids, but Harry Ashfield, the lad's a diamond. Parkinson's finally admitted it. The secret's out and the sharks are biting. I'm fuming and ecstatic all at once. If we loan him out, does he get lost in the system or come back? A legend? This isn't just transfer gossip. This is the heartbeat of the club. Wake up. We're fighting for the soul of Wrexham, AFC. No more dancing around it. The gaffers finally admitted what we all knew. Everyone's desperate for Harry Ashfield. Parkinson says clubs are ringing non-stop, and bloody right they are. We aren't some little underdog anymore. We're the biggest target in the league, and every scout is sniffing around our talent. The word is, Bristol Rovers are leading the pack. That's League One. A proper level, not some part-time circus. Parkinson's playing it cool, saying he'll decide when the time's right. But we know the score. Ashfield doesn't need another bench to sit on. He needs to be out there getting battered by pros and getting some mud on his kit. The January window is a bloody madhouse, and the clock is ticking. Parkinson's protecting the asset, but he's got a massive call to make before we run out of time. Now, let's throw a bit of spice into the mix, shall we? Because it's not just Face the Scouts watching, we have got celebrity endorsement, and not the Ryan Reynolds kind. I'm talking about proper football people. Robbie Savage? Love him or hate him, the man knows a midfielder when he sees one because he was a nuisance of one himself for years. Savage is currently managing Forest Green Rovers, trying to pull them out of the mud, but he was on punditry duty for TNT Sports during our FA Cup clash against Nottingham Forest. And what did he do? Did he just talk about the Premier League big boys? No, he name-dropped Harry Ashfield. Not once, several times during the pre-match build-up. Think about that. You've got millions watching, you've got a Premier League giant in town, and Robbie Savage is talking about a 19-year-old Wrexham lad. Why does this matter? Because Savage is Wrexham born. He knows the DNA of the area, he knows what a Wrexham player looks like, and for him to single out Ashfield, that is high praise. It's validation. It tells you that the hype isn't just coming from inside the club, it's radiating outwards. Savage manages Forest Green. Could he be interested? The report doesn't explicitly say Forest Green are bidding, but when a manager talks about a player on national TV, you have to read between the lines. He's watching, he's admiring. This puts pressure on Parkinson. When pundits are asking, where's Ashfield? Why isn't he playing? It forces the manager's hand. It creates a narrative. It makes the fans ask questions. Savage has stirred the pot here, and I absolutely love it because it keeps everyone on their toes. It reminds the coaching staff that we have a jewel that cannot be ignored. Let's rewind. Why is everyone so obsessed? It's not just potential, it's cold, hard evidence. We need to talk about Preston North End, Carabao Cup Round 2, Deepdale, a proper stadium, a proper championship club at the time. We were looking up at them. Harry Ashfield didn't just play, he scored. In a 3-2 win against championship opposition, this teenager found the back of the net. That goal wasn't just a statistic, it was a statement. It was him saying, I belong at this level. You look at his movement, his awareness. He's got that low center of gravity, that ability to ghost into pockets of space. He started 2 League Cup games. He showed up. Then look at New Year's Day against Blackburn Rovers at Ewood Park, a 2-0 win. Massive result. Who comes off the bench for his league debut? Ashfield. Parkinson. Trusted him in a tight, high-pressure environment against the team with Premier League history. You don't throw a kid into that furnace unless you trust him not to melt. The report mentions he was unlucky because injury prevented him from featuring in the next 2 rounds of the Cup. That is the tragedy of football, isn't it? Momentum is everything. He was flying. He scored at Preston. And then, snap. Injury. Bad luck. If he hadn't been injured, would he be a regular starter now? Maybe, maybe not. But that glimpse at Preston, that debut at Blackburn, those are the receipts. He has proven he can do it. He's not a theoretical talent. He's a proven goal scorer against second-tier opposition. That is why the phone is ringing. That is why Bristol Rovers are keen. They saw the Preston game and thought, we'll have some of that. Thank you very much. This brings us to the most frustrating part of the whole saga, the Parkinson paradox. The gaffer says, I feel he has been a bit unlucky. If you look at his performances in the Carabao Cup, they were really good, and he's probably warranted a bit more game time. That is a polite way of saying the kid is too good for the bench, but the squad is too strong to drop anyone else. Look at our midfield. Look at the names. Evans, Cannon, Rathbone. We are stacked. We have depth that makes other teams weep. And that is the problem for Harry. It's the curse of a successful team. If we were sitting 18th in the table, fighting relegation, Harry Ashfield would probably be playing every week because we'd be desperate for a spark. But we aren't desperate. We are a machine. And machines don't like changing parts that are working. Parkinson is a creature of habit. He trusts experience. He loves a veteran who knows how to manage a game, kill the clock, and put a foot in. Asking him to drop a seasoned pro for a 9-year-old is like asking a butcher to go vegan. It's just not in his nature, unless he's forced. So Ashfield is stuck in purgatory. Too good for the reserves, too inexperienced to displace Elliot Lee or George Dobson or whoever is holding down the fort. Parkinson admits it. He knows it's unfair. He was in the squad against Nottingham Forest and he's with us for the time being, Parkinson said. But for the time being sounds ominous, doesn't it? It sounds like a goodbye is coming. And honestly, it needs to happen for his sake. Let's talk about the reality of the loan market. It's a jungle out there. People think a loan is a magic wand, you send a player away, and he comes back as Lionel Messi. It doesn't work like that. A loan can destroy you if you go to the wrong club. If he goes to Bristol Rovers in League One, that is a massive step up in intensity compared to reserve football, but it's risky. Bristol Rovers are fighting for every point. Their manager won't care about developing Wrexham's player. He cares about keeping his job. If Harry has one bad game, does he get dropped? Does he spend 6 months sitting on a bench in Bristol instead of a bench in Wrexham? That's the danger. But if he stays, he rots. He stagnates. There's nothing worse for a 9-year-old than training every day, looking amazing in 5A side, and then watching 90 minutes from the sidelines on Saturday. It kills your spirit. It kills your match sharpness. You lose that predatory instinct. Parkinson is right to be cautious. We will make a decision. When the time is right, he's waiting for the perfect fit. He wants a club that plays football, not hoofball. He wants a manager who will put an arm around the lad, not scream in his face for 90 minutes. It's a chess game. And with the window closing soon, Parkinson has to make his move. If he gets this wrong, and Ashfield goes somewhere and flops, it sets his development back by a year. If he gets it right, we get a monster back next season. Here is the silver lining. The bit of news that should stop you from panicking, the contract. Harry Ashfield is under contract at the racecourse until the end of the 2026-27 season. We have him tied down. This isn't a situation where he's going to leave on a free transfer in the summer. We have control. This is crucial. In the old days, Wrexham would lose players like this for peanuts. A big club would come in, wave a tenner, and we'd crumble. Not anymore. The Hollywood ownership means we don't need the money, we don't need to sell to survive. We can dictate terms. This contract tells me that the club believes in him. You don't give a kid a deal until 2027 unless you think he's going to be a first-team regular. They see him as the successor. Maybe he's the heir to Elliot Lee's throne. Maybe he's the future heartbeat of the midfield. The loan, if it happens, is part of that 2027 plan. It's about building him up so that in 2025 or 2026, he isn't just a prospect, he's the first name on the team sheet. We need homegrown heroes. As much as I love the signings, as much as I love the stars, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, like seeing a local lad or an academy graduate kiss the badge. It hits different. It means more. And with that contract, Wrexham is saying, we know what we have, and we aren't letting go, so where do we land? What is the verdict from the stands? Phil Parkinson. Listen to me. Let the boy go. Let him spread his wings. The phone is ringing for a reason. Answer it. If Bristol Rovers want him and they promise minutes, drive him there yourself. Pack his boots. Give him a packed lunch. He has scored against Preston. He has debuted against Blackburn. He has nothing left to prove in the reserves. Keeping him here as cover is selfish. It's hoarding talent. And I know injuries happen and we might need him, but you can't clip a bird's wings and expect it to fly later. The interest is real. The talent is real. The shock exit isn't a shock at all. It's a necessity. It's the next logical step in the evolution of Wrexham AFC. We are now a club that produces talent that League One teams are desperate for. That is a badge of honor. So, Harry, if you go and smash it, show them what the Red Dragons are made of. Tear League One apart, and then come back home to the racecourse, walk into that first team, and lead us to the promised land. The future is bright, it's red, and right now, it's ringing off the hook.